Okay. My Mike had to split, so I'm stuck with Paul and his vacuum cleaner stories, I guess, is what I've got here. Not to tee Paul up. There's a lot of hockey stuff to get to here. The regular season is closing in fast, right? A week from Thursday. We got a couple of more preseason games coming up this week. Wednesday, home to Pittsburgh. Friday in Pittsburgh against the Penguins. And then it's the Rangers on opening night. Paul, how are you, sir?
I'm well. How are you?
I am good. I've not talked to you since early last week. We had a kind of a downer of a game in Detroit, and then I guess kind of the reverse, right? 5-2 both games, if I'm not mistaken. A loss there, and then a win on Saturday afternoon. I don't know. What is there to take away from the games that have been played so far as you're concerned?
Well, it went what we usually see in preseason. The home games is made up of mainly the NHL team, and in Detroit Buffalo's case, it happened in both games. The Red Wings, in their win, basically had their lineup, and the Sabres basically had the Rochester Americans playing, and then here in Buffalo, it was the Sabres against Grand Rapids. So, and that's usually the way it goes, and I think that's what we're going to see coming up with the Penguins. I mean, I'd be shocked if we see a representative lineup by the Penguins tomorrow, and then I would be shocked if we saw a representative lineup by the Sabres on Friday in Pittsburgh. So, this is the game tomorrow, I think, for the Sabres. For the real Buffalo Sabres, get ready. I don't think too many will be in the Friday game, and except for Luukkonen. It sounds like Luukkonen is going to be in net for both games. The question is, tomorrow, is he going to play the whole game or is he going to play 40 minutes? Lindy Ruff said today that he wasn't quite sure yet. It was something they were still going to talk about after he had spoken to us. That's the way he did in the first start with the goalies.
Georgiev and Lyon played two periods, and then Levi took over, right?
Right. In their first game, they played 40, and Levi played the final 20, and then in their second start, they played the whole game. So I bet that's probably what happens. I think you might see Luukkonen for 40 tomorrow, and then on Friday, you might see him for the full 60.
How has he looked to you in these practices since he's been back, Luukkonen?
Fine. Yeah, no, doesn't look like he's struggling at all. Practicing fully. Or as fully as you can when there's three goaltenders out there, and he looks fine. Says he's fine.
Three goalie thing there.
It doesn't seem like there's any problem at all.
Sorry, I'm muttering under my breath here. There's the three goalie thing again, Paul. What do you? I mean, they're not going to do this again, are they?
Yeah, they are.
They are. Have they said that?
No, they are. I mean, what are they going to do?
Send Georgiev down. If he gets claimed, go find another Georgiev. I don't know.
They're worried about him getting claimed, but he's not going to sit there and back up Levi.
Oh,
I mean, it's just they're going to do it. I know they are. I mean, and Lindy's not real happy about it either. I mean, Lindy acknowledged that I understand that there's a chance we're going to have to do it, but he's not a fan. I remember last time it happened, Kevin Adams wasn't a big fan. I don't know. I just don't understand.
They should stop doing things they're not big fans of.
Yeah, I don't understand why they didn't. Reimer signed a PTO with the Leafs.
Right.
Why didn't they sign Reimer to a PTO with the Sabres? I don't get it. He loved playing for the Sabres. He was so excited when the Sabres reclaimed him from Anaheim, even though that he claims that he didn't know that. He was rather surprised and put off when he was put on waivers. Still wanted to come back, liked playing here, liked the team. Got a lot of games near the end of the season. I suppose they might have asked him, and he might have said no. Or
who knows?
That would have been the way to go.
Yeah, I mean Toronto's where he started, right? I don't know if maybe his wife is from there. Who knows what could go into it?
Or offer Georgiev PTO, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why you had to put yourself in this spot. I don't know why you had to put yourself in the spot unless they were more worried about. They had to have been more worried about Luukkonen than they let on. I just don't know why they put themselves in this spot.
Well,
and how do you get out of it? Well, who's going to take? Well, you said claim. Who's going to claim him? Anybody could have had Georgiev right up to the middle of September. So nobody's claiming him.
Do you know that there would be a problem sending him down the way you said that? Because I thought initially when they got him, yes, of course, the Luukkonen injury scare is a reason to do it, but isn't the rest of their goaltending depth all first-year pros? So it's Levi and then kids. And I thought maybe Georgiev would be like a buffer for that in Rochester if needed. So I don't know. I don't even want to say, I don't even care if he likes it or not. Whatever. Send him down there.
Well, I'm sure there had to have been some sort of agreement for him to sign. I mean, Lindy Ruff had to talk to him before he signed. Oh. They had a chat. I mean, Lindy Ruff was the assistant coach with the New York Rangers when he was there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe promises were made or whatever the case. And you could go a couple of different ways there. I mean, I don't think you're going to be able to trade Georgiev. I suppose you possibly could be able to trade Lyon.
No.
But is it crazy that you might trade Luukkonen? I mean, you could look into that too if you wanted to, and go with the two veterans this year, if you'd like, because you did draft Lennon in the second round, saying he was the best goaltender to be drafted, and he's going to be your guy. Probably he or Ratzlaff backing up Levi. He's in North America now. So, and if you if Kevin Adams is being straight up and he really believes that Levi is going to be a National Hockey League goaltender, is it crazy to think that you could make a trade for Luukkonen?
I'm just so unhappy with this conversation right now. I'm not blaming you. Like, you're just telling me what I don't know. I jokingly said we were talking about first NHL coach to be fired odds, and I said Lindy, they're going to have too good a year for Lindy to get fired. And I was half kidding when I said it. So I wasn't entirely being facetious, and this conversation is just
doesn't Adams get fired before Lindy?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think either one gets fired because Terry Pagula loves them both.
Right. I feel stuck in the mud. Let's change the subject from the goalies. I don't think they're going to trade Luukkonen. I'm not trading Alex Lyon. I got him to back up Luukkonen because I thought I could trust him. Georgiev is not any good. I'm pretty confident of that. And putting any faith in him, I think, would be a disaster. So I want him in Rochester ASAP. I may not get my wish. I'm yelling I'm barking at the moon here, Paul. In this case, you are the moon, and now it's awkward. Anyway, Paul Hamilton on the Western Hotline with me here on WGR. How about injuries? The rest of it, right? Samuelson, Greenway, Kulik. There's a mix of guys and Owen Power was new on that list today too, right?
Yeah, Owen Power. He pulled minor something yesterday. He's day-to-day. Lindy didn't seem too concerned. I did see Byram was on the ice over at Harbor Center doing his thing.
That's another one I left out, yeah.
Greenway was over on the ice doing his thing over there. They're hoping to get him back in practice within the next week or so. Byram, it doesn't sound like he's hugely far away. Samuelson sounds like he might be the farthest in a week-to-week. Noah Ostlund, I forgot about him. When I noticed when they put out who went down to Rochester, he wasn't on the list. And then I forgot that, well, wait a minute, he's not on the list. He's also not at Sabres practice. And he has a week-to-week injury also, but he was skating with Byram and those guys over there today. So when he's okay, I think he goes down to Rochester. I think that's just a housekeeping.
Right.
I'll mention it that he's not healthy and not in Rochester yet. And Kulik, I chatted with him today. He's fine.
Okay.
He practiced today. He's fine. He was just a couple of days that he was out, and he's back out there ready to go.
As far as the D-core goes then, if we assume Byram and Power are back, thank you. Samuelson's longer term, so that's a no-go for opening night. What do my pairs look like without Samuelson? Like, who slides into that spot? Is that Ryan Johnson? He's still here, right? And Zach Jones went back to Rochester?
Yeah, he cleared waivers.
Okay.
So he they didn't bring him back or anything, so he's still down there. Komarov is up here, and I think basically he's looked good in camp, and I think it's a reward for looking good because Lindy didn't want to have the odd guy. Let's have pairs. So he had a right-handed shooting defenseman. He can stay for a little while longer with the NHL club, maybe get a game here in Pittsburgh. I wouldn't expect he's going to be on the roster when it's all said and done. But I think it's just a reward to, hey, kid, you look pretty good in camp. We're going to keep you here, let you practice and keep you here, maybe throw you in a game. If you're going to throw him in a game, he's probably going to play Friday. I think there would be a massive call-up for Friday's game anyway. Okay. I think it's probably Johnson. I think he's ahead. He's the one that's been playing with Timmins in the last couple of practices, not Bryson. So, Lindy has talked about Johnson and how much he's improved and what he's been doing. So, I think he's bulled his way towards the roster. I mean, they've always said if a player shows up and he, acts like he's supposed to be on the team, Johnson has done that, and now he's practicing with the big group. He has not been practicing except the last 2 days, so they've kind of brought him up to the big group, and he's earned it the way he's played and the way he's practiced. So, good for him. And, if the season were to start tomorrow, I think definitely. I'm glad I was wrong just now, by the way. I'll tell you in a second. I think definitely, he will get the call there.
You thought Judge was going to strike out?
Oh, yeah.
No, he singled through
good. Now I get to watch Judge play about as small as he could possibly play for the rest of the season.
Two singles to left field to lead off the bottom of the first. The Red Sox went in order in the top of the first, and the Yanks have got runners on first and second with nobody out.
Judge is in the postseason, Ben.
Yep.
I think your batting average is better than his in the postseason.
Paul, I don't have a batting average because I'm not a baseball player. So how have Power and Kesselring looked together to you when you've had a chance to see them in these couple of games they played together?
Pretty good. I mean, Power still, there was a goal scored with him. Basically, I suppose it was better coverage than I've seen. I mean, he was with the guy. They were actually touching, but he didn't tie him up enough to prevent the goal. I'm like, okay, no, I'm not happy with that. That's not good enough. So that. But as far as the two of them playing together, the first time they were together, I don't even think they were in the defensive zone I mean, they played really, really well in that game. And they basically, every time they were on the ice, they were in the offensive zone. Because I remember thinking, when I was writing my article after the game to talk about it, it's like, I really can't talk about their breakouts because they really didn't have to break the puck out. They weren't in their own zone all that much.
Yeah.
So I think it's gone fairly well. It's tough with the preseason, again, because of the competition. When they're together and playing with the regular Sabres, they're not playing the regular other team. And so I just don't want to make too big of a judgment until I see the regular season, what's going to happen there.
Paul Hamilton here on the Western Hotline with me for just a couple of more minutes here on WGR. So when we get to it, and I assume, by the way, I'm asking you about Kesselring and Power, Dahlin and Byram, everyone healthy, like that's the top pair, right?
It seems like it. Now when Byram didn't practice, they put Kesselring with Dahlin, and they put Mrkta with Power.
That's the other. I'm glad you mentioned him. I was going to move on, and I go ahead, finish your thought.
But I think Lindy, he's been adamant. It's like, you guys think that this is going to, he goes, yeah, they're going to play together some, and everybody's going to play with everybody. And, he keeps chirping on that, you guys got to get off this Power with Kesselring all year long type of thing. Yeah, they're going to play together some, but if we need a goal, then pairs will be different. If we really need to defend, then the pairs will be different. And so he's been kind of on that. And then, as I said, he put Dahlin with Kesselring once Byram wasn't out there.
Is there any chance here at this point, in your opinion, that Mrkta sees a regular season game or two? Or is he just going to go back to just riding him out through the preseason here?
They could. They might want to expose him to that. I think, as I recall, I haven't looked it up. I believe the last one to do that was Reinhart, and I think he got 8 games. And then I remember him getting sent down, and I remember Tim Murray saying Reinhart was in his office crying that he was being sent to junior after. So that I think that might have been the last time they've gone that route of letting somebody play before they go to junior. So they might give him that opportunity, but he's a right-handed shooting defenseman, and I think they're pretty staunch on it's going to be Dahlin. The right side is going to be Dahlin, Kesselring, and Timmins. That doesn't mean he can't go to Rochester. That doesn't mean might be some of the injuries that leak into the regular season and give him an opportunity.
Can he go to? I didn't.
Yes, he can.
Oh, he can. Thank you. That's a huge development.
Because last year
he played in Europe
less than half the year.
Okay.
In Seattle, he was in Europe. He started in Europe, and that's where he was. So that's the difference. So yes, he can go to Rochester.
You're not sure if that's a good idea?
I just don't think it's a good idea, and I've really liked him. But he's made some, like the Detroit game. He scored a goal. And then, on Kane's goal, he got schooled behind the net by DeBrincat. Now, DeBrincat's a good offensive player. It's not an embarrassment by any means that he got schooled back there. But not only did he get schooled, then he tried to scramble to get over to Kane to stop the play, and he fell down. It's like, all right, there's 18 years old right there. That's. But there have been a lot of good plays, too. But there have been a lot of 18-year-old plays. And I just think he'd be better served in Seattle, playing a lot, probably over 25 minutes a game in all situations, probably in dominating fashion. I just think, they're not in a position where they really need him this year to put a green 18-year-old rookie in there. I don't think they need to do that. So if it were me, I would put it the 18-year-old defenseman in Rochester. It was difficult enough for a guy like Hellenis, who played as an 18-year-old as a forward. It took him over half the year to really, really catch on and play well. And it's harder for defensemen to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying he can't do it or whatever, but I don't know. I just think he'd be better in Seattle.
Okay. Well, that's a big development. I'm glad that you made it known that he is eligible to go. To Roch, if that's, because I thought with his age he'd be stuck in juniors, that old thing where you can't send the guy. He's too good for juniors, can't go to the
He would have started
HL.
in junior. That's different.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. We got less than 2 minutes here, Paul. I saw you have a piece on Norris, and it's been talked about a lot during these games that I've been watching, how he had a healthy offseason, not rehabbing an injury. Just the cliff notes on Norris right now.
Well, I think he wetted the fans' whistle a little bit with a 3-point game against the Red Wings. A goal and 2 assists, and he came as advertised, played well, and looked the part, I think. And the thing about him is it's not all offense. He can play both ways. He can play well defensively. He's a penalty killer, and it sounds like he. When I was watching, they were practicing the penalty kill yesterday, and he was one of the pairs out there. So, I think he will be on the penalty kill for them. I believe he was out there with Doan, if I'm not mistaken. And the winning of faceoffs. I mean, Thompson scored a goal. Why? Who won the faceoff to him into the circle, and he just ripped it right off the faceoff, and it's in the net. It took about 2 seconds for the puck to win the draw and get the puck into the net. And I really think that alone, I think, helps the power play, because now you're set up. Now you didn't lose the draw. It goes down. Well, the Sabres sometimes have trouble getting the puck into the other end, and then we got stopped at the blue line. We got to retreat again. Stopped at the blue line. Well, you just killed a minute and a half of your power play because you didn't win the face-off. If you win the face-off, you're set up and you're ready to go, and there's more power play time, and I think he'll help with that.
All right, Paul, thanks for this. We'll visit again tomorrow with it being a game night.
Okay.
All right, that's our Paul Hamilton on the West Her Hotline. His appearances here